Hey guys, welcome to Practical Home Projects. So today we're going to be diagnosing and hopefully repairing a bathroom vent fan that's not functioning. So this is the bathroom vent. This is obviously good to help pull moisture out of the bathroom when you're showering. And if you don't have a functional vent, then you could have humidity build up in the space that could lead to things like drywall cracking, rust, or even some sort of mold growth inside your bathroom. So this is definitely something you want to repair right away. So as we flip the switch, nothing's happening. I don't hear even the buzz of the fan. So the first thing we're going to do is see if the electricity works, and then we'll go into whether the fan itself works. So this is a builder grade model vent fan from Broan, and you remove these by simply pulling down this latch, and then there's metal clips behind it. So if you can kind of get in there. Kind of squeeze them like safety pins. And then this model has a particular safety feature where there's another unplug right there. So I'm going to test this wire to see if this wire has power going to it. So now I have the power turned off. So I'm just going to look to make sure there's no obvious obstructions. It's moving fairly freely. There's a lot of dust up in there, however. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn the power on and see if I see any electricity right here. So with my non-contact voltage tester, I see that there is power going through this source, which means that the problem is not electrical. The problem is that either the motor's not functioning or there's a disconnect somewhere inside the motor. Since I looked up the model number of this exact model and it's about 20 bucks, so I think what I'm going to do is just replace this entire unit. That way I know I have a fresh, fully functioning working system, and then we'll go from there. So I just confirmed that this piece is the one that doesn't work, so this motor isn't actuating. However, the ductwork itself should be fine. So I'm going to double check the model that I just purchased to see if I could replace just this motor plate and just kind of stick it back up into the same housing. And then of course we'll have to just discard this piece. So now I'm comparing the old model to the new model, and you'll see they're pretty much the exact same layout. Old one's obviously a little bit dirtier and more corroded. So I'll double check to make sure the new one fits perfectly and make sure that the motor is working before I install it. But other than that, it should just be a one-to-one replacement. So this is essentially the housing for the fan unit, and if we had, an electrical problem, the electrical wiring comes in the back of here, so we could probably still work with the unit that we have. The only reason that there would be to replace this is really if there's physical damage to it, if it's completely bent or has holes in it or something, then I might want to replace this. This unit is usually installed before the drywall ceiling because the drywall lays essentially over it. So in order to replace this, I would have to do some more drywall work. So that's definitely something I'd like to avoid. And it's just a piece of metal, so there's not really any point in replacing it unless it's completely damaged. So I want to make sure everything's kind of nice and tight and situated the way it's supposed to be before I install. This specific design says to put these two clips in before this clip, so I will follow those directions. So now I have the click. I want to go ahead and make sure I get that plugged in. Everything seems seated, all of our clips are in place. Let's plug it in to make sure it works. So you can see originally they applied some caulk to kind of seal this off. However, with the rough drywall edge, as well as sort of these holes where the flaps are, I'm instead going to use this aluminum faced ducting tape. So this is good for use on metal parts. It's extremely sticky, and then of course it's going to be a little bit more moisture resistant than some other sort of tape. So I'm going to just go ahead and wrap it around this seam and have it fold over the drywall. So hopefully we'll get a nice tight seal, so that way it's not pulling air out of my attic and kind of causing dust accumulation. And that was it. So as you saw, that was a pretty quick, like 30-minute job. It only cost $20 for the new parts, and then a couple more bucks if you need some caulk or tape or any other type of pieces to help you do that air sealing. Obviously, if your situation with the air sealing is a little bit different, you might have to get creative, but the key is to make sure that the humid air is going up into the fan and that you're not pulling, dust and debris out of your attic or whatever space you have up above it. So if you guys like what you saw, we appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. If you have any thoughts or any different ways to do this, please leave a comment down in the section below and we'll get more videos out to you like this in the future. Thanks, guys.